Brain Gain is sponsored by Southwoods Health, Farmers National Bank, Sweeney Chevrolet Buick GMC, and the Mahoning Valley Manufacturers Coalition.
Been hiring for a while. We're in a rapid growth. We are coming out of our startup phase. We're going into our production phase. From one crew, we're now at 2 crews, and ultimately a mill of this type likes to run every single day. So we want to get to a 4-crew operation in which we basically don't turn it off.
I've been here almost 7 months now.
I've been working here about a month now.
I've been with Ellwood since 2004 is my first introduction with them.
I've worked here a little over a year.
So this is one of our large slabs here. So we'll put this down on, this is our Sermot saw. And so they'll program the saw to cut whatever the customer specs are. So they can either just hack off the ends and stuff like that, or they can even do custom plate sizes.
My day-to-day, I get to operate the crane. I bring material over to the saw, measure it out, cut it to the specs that they wish, inspect it, sometimes load trucks.
It's very much like a football team. Everybody's got roles, and you have to kind of keep people on the playbook to make the product that you're trying to do.
But I'm really glad that Ellwood and Ellwood Aluminum does have that teamwork interaction. As part of metallurgy, I'm in the quality department, so I'm in charge of making sure the chemistry is what the customer wants it to be, and also making sure that all of our operations, from our filtration of inclusions to our degassing to take the hydrogen out of the metal, I'm here to make sure that all of that runs as it should and that we give the customer what they want.
So right here, this is our casting pit. So when the aluminum comes in, it'll come into the casting pit, go to the table. From the table, that's where the aluminum will form our particular cast, if it's a slab or a billet.
Working with my hands, getting dirty. I heard this was a newer company. I thought I'd give it a shot, and I really liked it.
And what we do here is we teach the basic metallurgy of what happens to make aluminum. We teach them how the equipment works and the reasons why. And basically we try to cultivate that knowledge to help us produce the products that we have out there.
Challenging was coming in, not knowing how to operate the crane, or there's a lot of new. But one good thing with our company, they will teach you. If you want to learn, the sky's the limit.
Some of the equipment is kind of tough to learn, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be just fine.
Our president is a big believer in having educational and also developing people.
The product we make is a type of product that if it breaks in the field, we tend to make the news. So we'd rather not have any kind of failure out there, and the way we achieve that is by bringing up a workforce that really wants to learn, that can take ownership of the process and be part of the process of making the product.
I think it's becoming a lot more common for young ladies to go into this type of work. Half of my classmates were female also, which is really great. I think we bring a fresh perspective, and we're changing the way people think of when they think of manufacturing.
By practicing safety, by practicing quality, it means that you've thought about what you're going to do. You've put procedures in place about what you've done, and you probably have practiced it so that you know what you're going to do. And by having those 3 things, production happens.
So behind me here, we have our melter and we have our holder. So we have a charge cart that's automated. We'll load it up with our scrap, dump it into the melter. Once it's melted, we'll end up transferring from the melter to the holder, so the aluminum will go down through this trough and then sit into our holder until we're all in chemistry, temperature, and the table's ready.
To know what it came from up there to what it's going out to. It's neat to know if we can find out what it's going to a customer, what it's going to become.
I think the most rewarding part is the teamwork to figure out a solution to a problem that we're having.
If college is not for you, this is definitely a good outlet. You can support yourself, you can support your family.
There is some training that needs to take place, but it doesn't have to be. A college education per se. It can be a trade school or an after-work type of environment to learn those skills. And Ellwood is promoting that. For people that want to work along that pathway, we do offer tuition reimbursement for those schools.
Brain Gain is sponsored by Southwoods Health, Farmers National Bank, Sweeney Chevrolet Buick GMC, and the Mahoning Valley Manufacturers Coalition.